How to make a psychological film. How to create a psychological film. Psychological films are a unique and powerful genre of filmmaking that explore the inner workings of the human mind and emotions. Creating a successful psychological film requires a deep understanding of human behavior, a strong narrative structure, and effective visual and auditory techniques. In this article, we will explore the key elements and techniques for creating a successful psychological film. Understanding human behavior. At the heart of a successful psychological film is a deep understanding of human behavior and emotions. This requires research and observation of real-life experiences, as well as an understanding of psychological theories and principles. Here are some tips for understanding human behavior in psychological filmmaking. Research and observation. Research and observe real-life experiences to gain a deeper understanding of human behavior and emotions. Study psychological theories and principles. Study psychological theories and principles to gain insight into the inner workings of the human mind and emotions. Use personal experience. Use personal experience to add authenticity and depth to your characters and story. Creating a strong narrative structure. A strong narrative structure is essential for creating a successful psychological film. This can involve creating complex and multidimensional characters, exploring themes and motifs, and using visual and auditory techniques to enhance the emotional impact of your story. Here are some tips for creating a strong narrative structure in psychological filmmaking. Create complex and multidimensional characters. Creating complex and multidimensional characters is essential for exploring the inner workings of the human mind and emotions. Explore themes and motifs. Exploring themes and motifs can add depth and meaning to your story, and create a sense of coherence and unity. Use visual and auditory techniques. Using visual and auditory techniques, such as lighting, sound design, and camera angles, can enhance the emotional impact of your story. Using visual and auditory techniques. Visual and auditory techniques are essential for creating a successful psychological film. These techniques can be used to enhance the emotional impact of your story, create a sense of atmosphere and tension, and explore the inner workings of the human mind and emotions. Here are some tips for using visual and auditory techniques in psychological filmmaking. Use lighting to create mood. Lighting can be used to create a sense of mood and atmosphere, and to highlight important elements of your story. Use sound design to create tension. Sound design can be used to create a sense of tension and atmosphere, and to enhance the emotional impact of your story. Use camera angles to explore emotions. Camera angles can be used to explore the emotions and inner workings of your characters, and to create a sense of intimacy and connection with your audience. Use symbolism and metaphors. Symbolism and metaphors can be used to add depth and meaning to your story, and to explore the inner workings of the human mind and emotions. Working with actors. Working with actors is essential for creating a successful psychological film. This requires a deep understanding of human behavior and emotions, as well as effective communication and collaboration skills. Here are some tips for working with actors in psychological filmmaking. Build trust and rapport. Building trust and rapport with your actors is essential for creating authentic and emotionally resonant performances. Use improvisation techniques. Using improvisation techniques can help your actors explore the emotional depth and nuance of their characters. Provide clear direction. Providing clear direction and feedback to your actors is essential for achieving the emotional impact and authenticity you are looking for in your film. Continuing from the previous section, let's explore some additional techniques and considerations for creating a successful psychological film. Using editing techniques. Editing is an essential component of creating a successful psychological film. It involves selecting and arranging footage to create a cohesive and emotionally resonant narrative. Here are some tips for using editing techniques in psychological filmmaking. Use montage. Montage can be used to create a sense of emotional intensity and to convey information and meaning quickly and effectively. Use juxtaposition. Juxtaposition can be used to create contrast and meaning between different scenes and elements of your story. Use cutaways and flashbacks. Cutaways and flashbacks can be used to provide context and insight into the emotional state and motivations of your characters. Use nonlinear structure. Nonlinear structure can be used to create a sense of mystery and complexity, and to explore the different perspectives and emotions of your characters. Considering ethics and responsibility. When creating a psychological film, it's important to consider the ethical and responsible implications of your work. This includes respecting the privacy and dignity of your subjects, avoiding harmful stereotypes and tropes, and ensuring that your film has a positive social impact. Here are some tips for considering ethics and responsibility in psychological filmmaking. Respect privacy and dignity. Respect the privacy and dignity of your subjects by obtaining their consent and ensuring that they are portrayed in a respectful and authentic manner. Avoid harmful stereotypes and tropes. Avoid harmful stereotypes and tropes that can perpetuate negative attitudes and stigmatization towards mental health and psychological conditions. Ensure positive social impact. Ensure that your film has a positive social impact by raising awareness, promoting understanding and empathy, and advocating for positive change. Collaborating with a team. Collaborating with a team is essential for creating a successful psychological film. This requires effective communication, delegation of responsibilities, and a shared vision and understanding of the project. Here are some tips for collaborating with a team in psychological filmmaking. Communicate effectively. Communicate effectively with your team by setting clear expectations and goals, providing feedback and support, and ensuring that everyone is on the same page. Delegate responsibilities. Delegate responsibilities to your team members based on their skills and expertise, and ensure that everyone has a clear understanding of their role and responsibilities. Foster a shared vision. Foster a shared vision and understanding of the project by involving your team members in the creative process. Encouraging open communication and collaboration, and celebrating successes together. Using music and sound design. Music and sound design are essential components of creating a successful psychological film. They can be used to create a sense of mood, atmosphere, and emotional impact. How to film a comedy. How to film a comedy movie. Filming a comedy movie is a unique challenge that requires a combination of creativity, humor, and technical skills. Creating a successful comedy movie involves identifying and developing comedic moments, using effective camera techniques, and understanding the nuances of comedic timing and performance. In this article, we will explore the key elements and techniques for filming a successful comedy movie. Identifying and developing comedic moments. At the heart of a successful comedy movie is a series of comedic moments that make the audience laugh and engage with the story. Identifying and developing these moments requires a deep understanding of humor and comedic timing, as well as a willingness to take risks and experiment with different approaches. Here are some tips for identifying and developing comedic moments in filming a comedy movie. Understand humor and comedic timing. Understanding humor and comedic timing is essential for identifying and developing comedic moments that land with the audience. Take risks and experiment. Taking risks and experimenting with different approaches is essential for creating unique and memorable comedic moments. Collaborate with writers and actors. Collaborating with writers and actors can help you identify and develop comedic moments that are authentic to the story and characters. Using camera techniques. Camera techniques are an important aspect of filming a successful comedy movie. They can be used to create a sense of humor, tension, and emotional impact, and to highlight important comedic moments. Here are some tips for using camera techniques in filming a comedy movie. Use close-ups. Close-ups can be used to highlight the facial expressions and reactions of your actors, and to create a sense of intimacy and connection with the audience. Use wide shots. Wide shots can be used to create a sense of space and perspective, and to highlight the physical humor and action of your scenes. Use framing and composition. Framing and composition can be used to create a sense of humor and irony, and to highlight the absurdity of your scenes. Use camera movement. Camera movement can be used to create a sense of movement and energy, and to highlight the physical humor and action of your scenes. Understanding comedic timing and performance. Comedic timing and performance are essential components of filming a successful comedy movie. They involve understanding the nuances of humor and timing, and working closely with your actors to create authentic and memorable performances. Here are some tips for understanding comedic timing and performance in filming a comedy movie. Understand timing and rhythm. Understanding timing and rhythm is essential for creating comedic moments that land with the audience. Work closely with actors. Working closely with your actors can help you develop authentic and memorable comedic performances. Encourage improvisation. Encouraging improvisation can help your actors explore different approaches to comedic moments and create unique and unexpected performances. Use rehearsals. Using rehearsals can help you refine comedic timing and performance, and ensure that your scenes land with the desired comedic impact. Creating a positive and collaborative environment. Creating a positive and collaborative environment is essential for filming a successful comedy movie. This involves fostering a sense of trust and collaboration among your team members, and creating an environment that encourages creative experimentation and risk-taking. Here are some tips for creating a positive and collaborative environment in filming a comedy movie. Foster trust and collaboration. Fostering trust and collaboration among your team members can help you create a positive and supportive environment that encourages creative experimentation and risk-taking. Encourage creativity and risk-taking. encouraging creativity and risk-taking can help you and your team develop unique and memorable comedic moments and performances. Celebrate successes together. Celebrating successes together can help you and your team build a sense of camaraderie and teamwork, and create a positive and supportive environment. Continuing from the previous section, let's explore some additional tips and considerations for filming a successful comedy movie. Understanding the genre of comedy. Understanding the genre of comedy is essential for filming a successful comedy movie. This involves understanding the different types of humor and comedic styles, and how they can be used to create engaging and entertaining stories. Here are some tips for understanding the genre of comedy and filming a comedy movie. Understand the different types of humor. Understanding the different types of humor, such as slapstick, satire, and parody, can help you identify and develop comedic moments that are authentic to the story and characters. Understand the different comedic styles. Understanding the different comedic styles, such as screwball, romantic, and gross out, can help you create a unique and memorable comedy movie that resonates with your audience. Use references and homages to classic comedies. Using references and homages to classic comedies can help you create a sense of nostalgia and familiarity with your audience, and pay tribute to the history and evolution of comedy. Working with a talented cast and crew. Working with a talented cast and crew is essential for filming a successful comedy movie. This involves collaborating with experienced actors, writers, and technicians who can bring your vision to life and elevate the humor and performances in your movie. Here are some tips for working with a talented cast and crew in filming a comedy movie. Hire experienced actors. Hiring experienced actors who have a background in comedy can help you create authentic and memorable comedic performances that resonate with your audience. Hire experienced writers. Hiring experienced writers who have a background in comedy can help you identify and develop comedic moments that are authentic to the story and characters. Hire experienced technicians. Hiring experienced technicians, such as cinematographers and editors, can help you create a visually and emotionally engaging comedy movie that highlights the humor and performances of your actors. Encourage collaboration and feedback. Encouraging collaboration and feedback among your cast and crew can help you refine and improve your comedic moments and performances, and create a positive and supportive environment. Creating a unique and memorable story. Creating a unique and memorable story is essential for filming a successful comedy movie. This involves developing a compelling and engaging plot that is authentic to the genre of comedy and resonates with your audience.
Filming techniques create magical effects. Creating cinematic illusions through film techniques. Cinematic illusions are an essential part of filmmaking and can help create a sense of wonder and awe in audiences. Whether it's using camera tricks or special effects, creating illusions in film requires a deep understanding of film techniques, visual storytelling, and the creative use of technology. In this article, we will explore the different film techniques that can be used to create cinematic illusions and how they can be used to captivate audiences and tell compelling stories. Camera techniques. Camera techniques are a crucial aspect of creating cinematic illusions. They can be used to create illusions of space, time, and movement, and to manipulate the audience's perception of reality. Here are some camera techniques that can be used to create cinematic illusions. Forced perspective. Forced perspective is a technique that uses optical illusion to make objects appear larger or smaller than they actually are. It involves placing objects closer or further from the camera to create a sense of depth and scale. Slow motion. Slow motion can be used to create a sense of drama, emotion, and impact in a scene. It can also be used to create the illusion of time slowing down or speeding up. Dutch angle. A Dutch angle is a technique that involves tilting the camera to create a sense of disorientation and unease. It can be used to create a sense of tension and instability in a scene. Tracking shots. Tracking shots involve following a subject as they move through a scene. They can be used to create a sense of movement and action, as well as to establish the spatial relationships between characters and objects. Special effects. Special effects are another important aspect of creating cinematic illusions. They can be used to create illusions of magic, fantasy, and otherworldly experiences that would be impossible to achieve without the use of technology. Here are some special effects that can be used to create cinematic illusions. CGI, computer-generated imagery. CGI involves creating digital images and animations that can be inserted into live-action footage. It can be used to create fantastical creatures, environments, and otherworldly phenomena. Green screen. Green screen involves filming actors against a green or blue screen and replacing the background with a digital image or animation. It can be used to create illusions of location, time, and space. Miniatures. Miniatures are small-scale models that can be used to create illusions of large-scale environments and objects. They can be used to create a sense of scale and grandeur in a scene. Practical effects. Practical effects involve creating illusions using physical objects and materials. They can be used to create illusions of magic, transformation, and otherworldly phenomena. Sound design. Sound design is another important aspect of creating cinematic illusions. It can be used to create illusions of space, time, and emotion, and to enhance the impact and meaning of a scene. Here are some sound design techniques that can be used to create cinematic illusions. Foley. Foley involves creating sound effects using physical objects and materials. It can be used to create illusions of movement, action, and impact. Musical score. A musical score can be used to create a sense of emotion and mood in a scene. It can also be used to create illusions of time and space. Soundscapes. Soundscapes involve creating a multi-layered soundscape that can be used to create illusions of environment and location. It can also be used to create a sense of tension and drama in a scene. Virtual reality. Virtual reality is an emerging technology that can be used to create immersive and interactive cinematic illusions. It involves creating a computer-generated environment that can be experienced through a virtual reality headset. Here are some ways that virtual reality can be used to create cinematic illusions. Immersive environments. Virtual reality can be used to create immersive environments that can be explored and experienced by the viewer. It can be used to create illusions of space, time, and location. Interactive narratives. Virtual reality can be used to create interactive narratives that allow the viewer to make choices and influence the story. This can create illusions of agency and control. 360-degree video. 360-degree video involves filming a scene from all angles and allowing the viewer to explore the scene using a virtual reality headset. It can be used to create illusions of immersion and exploration. Continuing from the previous section, let's explore some additional tips and considerations for creating cinematic illusions through film techniques. Collaboration and communication. Collaboration and communication are essential for creating successful cinematic illusions. This involves collaborating with a team of experts, including cinematographers, special effects artists, sound designers, and virtual reality developers, to bring your vision to life. Here are some tips for collaboration and communication in creating cinematic illusions. Share your vision. Sharing your vision with your team can help ensure that everyone is on the same page and working towards a common goal. Encourage feedback and ideas. Encouraging feedback and ideas from your team can help you refine and improve your cinematic illusions, and create a positive and supportive environment. Communicate clearly and consistently. Communicating clearly and consistently with your team can help avoid misunderstandings and ensure that everyone is aware of their roles and responsibilities. Respect expertise. Respecting the expertise of your team members and trusting them to bring their skills and knowledge to the project is essential for creating successful cinematic illusions. Considering audience perception. Considering audience perception is important for creating successful cinematic illusions. This involves understanding how your audience perceives the world around them, and using that knowledge to create illusions that resonate with their experiences and expectations. How to make a horror movie. Creating a horror film, techniques and considerations. Horror films are a popular genre that can captivate audiences and leave them on the edge of their seats. However, creating a successful horror film requires a deep understanding of the genre, effective storytelling, and the creative use of film techniques. In this article, we will explore the different techniques and considerations that can be used to create a successful horror film. From developing a compelling story to using lighting and sound design to create a terrifying atmosphere. Developing a compelling story. Developing a compelling story is essential for creating a successful horror film. This involves creating a story that is engaging, emotionally impactful, and psychologically disturbing. Here are some tips for developing a compelling story for a horror film. Use familiar tropes. Using familiar horror tropes, such as haunted houses, demonic possessions, and serial killers, can help create a sense of familiarity and expectation with your audience. Create complex characters. Creating complex characters with unique motivations and desires can help create a sense of empathy and emotional investment in your audience. Use psychological horror. Using psychological horror, such as subtle scares and mind-bending twists, can create a sense of unease and fear in your audience that lasts long after the film has ended. Subvert expectations. Subverting audience expectations, such as by having the protagonist die or the villain win, can create a sense of unpredictability and shock in your audience. Effective lighting and sound design. Effective lighting and sound design are essential for creating a terrifying atmosphere in a horror film. This involves using lighting and sound to create a sense of tension, suspense, and fear. Here are some tips for effective lighting and sound design in a horror film. Use low lighting. Using low lighting, such as shadows and darkness, can create a sense of mystery and fear in your audience. Use soundscapes. Using soundscapes, such as subtle background noises and whispers, can create a sense of unease and tension in your audience. Use jump scares. Using jump scares, such as sudden loud noises or sudden appearances, can create a sense of shock and fear in your audience. Use music. Using music, such as a haunting melody or dissonant chords, can create a sense of dread and fear in your audience. Creative use of camera techniques. Creative use of camera techniques is essential for creating a visually compelling horror film. This involves using camera techniques to create a sense of unease, tension, and fear. Here are some tips for creative use of camera techniques in a horror film. Use point-of-view shots. Using point-of-view shots, such as from the perspective of the villain or monster, can create a sense of claustrophobia and fear in your audience. Use shaky cam. Using shaky cam, such as handheld shots or quick cuts, can create a sense of disorientation and fear in your audience. Use wide shots. Using wide shots, such as establishing shots or overhead shots, can create a sense of isolation and vulnerability in your audience. Use creative framing. Using creative framing, such as framing a character in a doorway or window, can create a sense of unease and tension in your audience. Consideration of audience perception. Consideration of audience perception is important for creating a successful horror film. This involves understanding how your audience perceives the world around them, and using that knowledge to create scares and terror that resonate with their experiences and expectations. Here are some tips for consideration of audience perception in a horror film. Use cultural references. Using cultural references, such as legends or folklore, can create a sense of familiarity and connection with your audience. Consider demographics. Considering demographics, such as age and gender, can help create horror that resonates with a specific audience. Use real-world fears. Using real-world fears, such as fear of the dark or fear of the unknown, can create a sense of terror that is relatable and impactful. Use empathy. Using empathy, such as creating characters that are relatable and sympathetic, can create a sense of emotional investment in your audience that enhances the terror and fear they experience. Continuing from the previous section, let's explore some additional tips and techniques for creating a successful horror film. Building suspense and tension. Building suspense and tension is essential for creating a successful horror film. This involves creating a sense of anticipation and fear that keeps the audience engaged and on edge throughout the film. Here are some tips for building suspense and tension in a horror film. Use foreshadowing. Using foreshadowing, such as hints of danger or ominous signs, can create a sense of anticipation and fear in your audience. Use pacing. Using pacing, such as slow build-ups and sudden bursts of action, can create a sense of tension and unease in your audience. Use silence. Using silence, such as moments of no sound or dialogue, can create a sense of unease and anticipation in your audience. Use character reactions. Using character reactions, such as fear or panic, can create a sense of tension and fear in your audience. Effective use of gore and violence. Effective use of gore and violence is essential for creating a terrifying and impactful horror film. This involves using gore and violence to create a sense of shock and fear in your audience. Here are some tips for effective use of gore and violence in a horror film. Use implied violence. Using implied violence, such as off-screen deaths or sound effects, can create a sense of terror and fear in your audience without showing graphic violence. Use practical effects. Using practical effects, such as prosthetics or makeup, can create realistic and impactful gore and violence that enhances the terror and fear in your audience. Use shock value. Using shock value, such as sudden and unexpected violence or gore, can create a sense of shock and fear in your audience. Use psychological violence. Using psychological violence, such as emotional abuse or manipulation, can create a sense of terror and fear in your audience that lasts long after the film has ended. Collaboration and communication. Collaboration and communication are essential for creating a successful horror film. This involves collaborating with a team of experts, including cinematographers, special effects artists, sound designers, and actors, to bring your vision to life. Here are some tips for collaboration and communication in creating a horror film. Share your vision. Sharing your vision with your team can help ensure that everyone is on the same page and working towards a common goal.
How to dub anime. How to dub an animated film, techniques and considerations. Dubbing an animated film involves replacing the original language dialogue with a new language while matching the lip movements of the characters on screen. Dubbing is a common practice in the film industry for making films accessible to international audiences. However, dubbing an animated film requires a unique set of techniques and considerations. In this article, we will explore the different techniques and considerations that can be used to dub an animated film, from script adaptation to voice acting and lip syncing. Script adaptation. Script adaptation is the process of translating and adapting the original script into a new language while maintaining the tone, intent, and context of the original dialogue. Adapting the script is essential for creating a high-quality dub that matches the lip movements and emotional performances of the original film. Here are some tips for script adaptation and dubbing an animated film. Maintain tone and context. Maintaining the tone and context of the original dialogue is essential for creating an accurate and high-quality dub that matches the lip movements of the characters. Use natural language. Using natural language that is appropriate for the target audience can help create a dub that is easy to understand and relatable. Adapt jokes and puns. Adapting jokes and puns to the new language and culture can help ensure that the humor of the original film is not lost in translation. Maintain emotional performances. Maintaining the emotional performances of the original voice actors is essential for creating an authentic and impactful dub that resonates with the audience. Voice acting. Voice acting is the process of providing the voice for the characters in the animated film. Voice actors must be able to match the tone, emotion, and timing of the original voice performances while also delivering their lines in a new language. Here are some tips for voice acting in dubbing an animated film. Match tone and timing. Matching the tone and timing of the original voice performances is essential for creating a dub that feels authentic and realistic. Use emotion and inflection. Using emotion and inflection to convey the emotions and intentions of the characters can help create a powerful and impactful dub. Use accents and dialects. Using accents and dialects that are appropriate for the characters and setting can help create a dub that is authentic and immersive. Use lip syncing. Using lip syncing techniques to match the lip movements of the characters on screen can help create a dub that feels seamless and natural. Lip syncing. Lip syncing is the process of matching the lip movements of the characters on screen with the dialogue in the new language. Lip syncing is essential for creating a dub that feels natural and realistic, and that matches the emotional performances of the original voice actors. Here are some tips for lip syncing and dubbing an animated film. Use software and technology. Using software and technology, such as lip syncing software and animation tools, can help create a seamless and realistic lip sync. Use visual cues. Using visual cues, such as the position of the character's mouth or the movement of their head, can help match the lip movements with the dialogue. Use timing and pacing. Using timing and pacing to match the lip movements with the dialogue can help create a dub that feels natural and realistic. Use voice acting techniques. Using voice acting techniques, such as adjusting the timing or inflection of the dialogue, can help match the lip movements with the emotional performances of the original voice actors. Considerations for dubbing. Dubbing an animated film requires careful consideration of the cultural and linguistic differences between the original language and the target language. Considerations such as cultural references, idioms, and slang must be taken into account to create a dub that is accurate and relatable to the target audience. Here are some considerations for dubbing an animated film. Cultural references. Adapting cultural references, such as holidays or traditions, to the new language and culture can help create a dub that is relatable and accessible. Idioms and slang. Adapting idioms and slang to the new language and culture can help create a dub that feels natural and realistic. Voice age and gender. Matching the age and gender of the voice actors with the characters on screen can help create a dub that feels authentic and immersive. Sound effects and music. Adapting sound effects and music to the new language and culture can help create a dub that feels seamless and natural. Quality control. Quality control is essential for creating a high-quality dub that meets the standards of the original film and resonates with the target audience. Quality control involves reviewing and editing the dub to ensure that it matches the lip movements, emotional performances, and cultural context of the original film. Here are some tips for quality control in dubbing an animated film. Use a checklist. Using a checklist to review and edit the dub can help ensure that all aspects of the dub, such as lip syncing and cultural references, are accurate and high quality. Use test screenings. Using test screenings with a target audience can help identify areas for improvement and ensure that the dub resonates with the audience. Use professional reviewers. Using professional reviewers, such as language experts or cultural consultants, can help ensure that the dub meets the standards of the original film and the target audience. Use feedback loops. Using feedback loops between the dubbing team, the original film creators, and the target audience can help refine and improve the dub over time. Marketing and distribution. Marketing and distribution are essential for promoting and distributing the dubbed film to the target audience. Marketing and distribution involve creating promotional materials, such as trailers and posters, and distributing the film through various channels, such as theaters and streaming platforms. Here are some tips for marketing and distribution in dubbing an animated film. Create promotional materials. Creating promotional materials, such as trailers and posters, that accurately represent the dub and resonate with the target audience can help promote the film and generate interest. Use social media. Using social media, such as Facebook and Twitter, to promote the film and engage with the target audience can help create a buzz and generate interest. Use publicity events. Using publicity events, such as press conferences or film festivals, to promote the film and engage with the target audience can help create a buzz and generate interest. Use distribution channels. Using distribution channels, such as theaters and streaming platforms, that are accessible and popular with the target audience can help ensure that the film reaches a wide audience. Cultural considerations. Cultural considerations are essential for creating a dub that is accurate and relatable to the target audience. Cultural considerations involve adapting the dub to the cultural context of the target audience, such as adapting cultural references and idioms to the new language and culture.
How to shoot movies that capture the natural light and nuances of the scene. How to capture natural lighting and mood in film, techniques and considerations. Capturing natural lighting and mood in film is essential for creating a cinematic experience that resonates with the audience. Natural lighting and mood can add depth and emotion to a scene, creating a more immersive and realistic experience for the viewer. In this article, we will explore the different techniques and considerations that can be used to capture natural lighting and mood in film. Understanding lighting and mood. Lighting and mood are closely related in film, as lighting can be used to create a specific mood or atmosphere in a scene. Natural lighting, such as sunlight or moonlight, can help create a sense of realism and immersion. While artificial lighting, such as lamps or spotlights, can be used to create a specific mood or tone. Here are some tips for understanding lighting and mood in film. Study light and shadow. Studying how light and shadow interact in real life and in film can help you understand how different types of lighting can affect the mood and atmosphere of a scene. Use color theory. Using color theory, such as color temperature or color grading, can help you create a specific mood or tone in a scene. Consider the time of day. Considering the time of day and the position of the sun can help you use natural lighting to create a specific mood or atmosphere in a scene. Experiment with lighting. Experimenting with different types of lighting, such as natural lighting or artificial lighting, can help you find the right balance of lighting and mood for a scene. Techniques for capturing natural lighting and mood. Capturing natural lighting and mood in film requires a combination of techniques and considerations, from camera angles and composition to color grading and post-production. Here are some techniques for capturing natural lighting and mood in film. Use natural lighting. Using natural lighting, such as sunlight or moonlight, can help create a sense of realism and immersion in a scene. Use camera angles. Using different camera angles, such as low angles or high angles, can help you capture the natural lighting and mood of a scene from different perspectives. Use composition. Using composition, such as framing the subject against a natural backdrop, can help you capture the natural lighting and mood of a scene in a visually interesting way. Use color grading. Using color grading techniques, such as adjusting the brightness and contrast of a scene, can help you create a specific mood or tone. Considerations for capturing natural lighting and mood. Capturing natural lighting and mood in film also requires careful consideration of factors such as location, weather, and time of day. Here are some considerations for capturing natural lighting and mood in film. Choose the right location. Choosing the right location, such as a natural setting with interesting lighting and natural elements, can help you capture the natural lighting and mood of a scene in a visually interesting way. Consider the weather. Considering the weather and how it affects the natural lighting and mood of a scene can help you plan and prepare for the shoot. Plan around the time of day. Planning your shoot around the time of day and the position of the sun can help you capture the natural lighting and mood of a scene in the most effective way. Use reflectors and diffusers. Using reflectors and diffusers, such as whiteboards or umbrellas, can help you control and modify the natural lighting in a scene to create a specific mood or atmosphere. Continuing from the previous section, let's explore some additional tips and techniques for capturing natural lighting and mood in film. Understanding light sources. Understanding the different types of light sources, such as natural light, artificial light, and practical light, is essential for capturing natural lighting and mood in film. Each type of light source has its own strengths and weaknesses, and understanding how to use them effectively can help you create a specific mood or atmosphere in a scene. Here are some tips for understanding light sources in film. Use natural light. Using natural light, such as sunlight or moonlight, can create a sense of realism and immersion in a scene. Use artificial light. Using artificial light, such as lamps or spotlights, can create a specific mood or tone in a scene. Use practical light. Using practical light, such as light from a TV or computer screen, can add depth and dimension to a scene. Experiment with light sources. Experimenting with different types of light sources can help you find the right balance of lighting and mood for a scene. Using filters and gels. Using filters and gels can help you modify the natural lighting in a scene to create a specific mood or atmosphere. Filters and gels are thin pieces of material that can be placed in front of a light source to modify the color or intensity of the light. Here are some tips for using filters and gels in film. Use color filters. Using color filters, such as amber or blue filters, can help you create a specific mood or tone in a scene. Use diffusion filters. Using diffusion filters, such as silk or frost filters, can help you soften the natural lighting in a scene and create a more romantic or dreamy atmosphere. Use ND filters. Using ND filters, or neutral density filters, can help you reduce the intensity of the natural lighting in a scene and create a more balanced exposure. Experiment with filters and gels. Experimenting with different types of filters and gels can help you find the right balance of lighting and mood for a scene. Using shadows and highlights. Using shadows and highlights is another way to create a specific mood or atmosphere in a scene. Shadows and highlights can add depth and contrast to a scene, creating a more dynamic and visually interesting image. Here are some tips for using shadows and highlights in film. Use contrast. Using contrast, such as bright highlights and deep shadows, can help you create a dramatic and visually interesting image. Use negative space. Using negative space, such as empty areas of the frame, can help you create a sense of tension or anticipation in a scene. Use silhouettes. Using silhouettes, such as a character standing against a bright light source, can create a powerful and dramatic image. Experiment with shadows and highlights. Experimenting with different levels of contrast, negative space, and silhouettes can help you find the right balance of lighting and mood for a scene. Using practical lighting. Using practical lighting, such as light sources that are part of the set design, can add depth and dimension to a scene. Practical lighting can create a sense of realism and immersion, as the light sources are visible in the scene and appear to be a natural part of the environment. Here are some tips for using practical lighting in film. Use realistic light sources. Using realistic light sources, such as lamps or candles, can create a sense of realism and immersion in a scene. Use multiple light sources. Using multiple light sources, such as a combination of practical and artificial lighting, can create a more dynamic and visually interesting image. Use light to reveal character. Using light to reveal character, such as a character sitting in a pool of light. How to use a locator to shoot movies more accurately. How to use GPS to improve filmmaking accuracy, techniques and considerations. Using GPS technology to improve filmmaking accuracy is becoming increasingly popular among filmmakers. GPS can help filmmakers track the movement of their camera and actors, plan shots more accurately, and create more immersive and realistic scenes. In this article, we will explore the different techniques and considerations that can be used to use GPS for filmmaking accuracy. Understanding GPS technology. GPS, or Global Positioning System, is a satellite-based navigation system that allows users to determine their precise location and track their movement. GPS technology is widely used in a variety of industries, from aviation to logistics, and is increasingly being used in filmmaking to improve accuracy and efficiency. Here are some tips for understanding GPS technology in filmmaking. Understand GPS accuracy. Understanding the accuracy of GPS technology, including its margin of error and limitations, can help you use it more effectively in your filmmaking. Use GPS receivers. Using GPS receivers, such as smartphones or dedicated GPS devices, can help you track the movement of your camera and actors more accurately. Use GPS software. Using GPS software, such as mapping or tracking apps, can help you plan shots and track movement more effectively. Consider GPS interference. Considering the potential for GPS interference, such as from tall buildings or other obstacles, can help you anticipate and plan for potential inaccuracies. Techniques for using GPS in filmmaking. Using GPS in filmmaking requires a combination of techniques and considerations, from tracking camera movement to planning shots and locations. Here are some techniques for using GPS in filmmaking. Track camera movement. Using GPS to track the movement of your camera, such as on a drone or a moving vehicle, can help you plan shots and create more immersive and dynamic scenes. Plan shots and locations. Using GPS to plan shots and locations, such as by mapping out the route of a chase scene, or identifying the best vantage points for a location shoot, can help you save time and create more accurate and visually interesting scenes. Track actor movement. Using GPS to track the movement of your actors, such as during a chase scene or a complex action sequence, can help you plan and execute the scene more effectively. Experiment with GPS techniques. Experimenting with different GPS techniques, such as using different types of GPS receivers or software, can help you find the right balance of accuracy and efficiency for your filmmaking needs. Considerations for using GPS in filmmaking. Using GPS in filmmaking also requires careful consideration of factors such as battery life, connectivity, and privacy. Here are some considerations for using GPS in filmmaking. Consider battery life. Considering battery life, and having backup batteries or chargers on hand, can help you avoid running out of power during a shoot. Consider connectivity. Considering connectivity, such as the availability of cellular or Wi-Fi networks, can help you plan for potential connectivity issues and find workarounds. Consider privacy. Considering privacy, such as the potential for GPS data to be used for surveillance or tracking, can help you protect your actors and crew and ensure compliance with relevant laws and regulations. Use GPS responsibly. Using GPS responsibly, such as by obtaining consent from actors and crew and following best practices for data security and privacy, can help you avoid potential legal or ethical issues. Using GPS for pre-production. Using GPS for pre-production, such as scouting locations and planning shots, can help you save time and create more accurate and visually interesting scenes. GPS can help you identify the best locations for a shoot, plan the route of a chase scene, and create a more detailed storyboard. Here are some tips for using GPS for pre-production. Scout locations. Using GPS to scout locations, such as by mapping out the area and identifying potential obstacles or vantage points, can help you save time and create more accurate and visually interesting scenes. Plan shots. Using GPS to plan shots, such as by mapping out the route of a chase scene or identifying the best vantage points for a location shoot, can help you create more accurate and visually interesting scenes. Create storyboards. Using GPS to create storyboards, such as by mapping out the movement of the camera and actors, can help you visualize the scene and plan the shoot more effectively. Experiment with GPS software. Experimenting with different GPS software, such as mapping or tracking apps, can help you find the right tools for your pre-production needs. Using GPS for post-production. Using GPS for post-production, such as syncing footage with GPS data and creating immersive maps or animations, can help you enhance the accuracy and immersion of your scenes. GPS can help you create more detailed and accurate maps, sync footage with GPS data, and create more immersive and dynamic animations. Here are some tips for using GPS for post-production. Sync footage with GPS data. Syncing footage with GPS data, such as by using specialized software or tools, can help you create more accurate and immersive scenes. Create maps and animations. Using GPS data to create maps and animations, such as by overlaying the movement of the camera and actors onto a map or creating a 3D animation of a chase scene, can help you create more immersive and dynamic scenes. Experiment with GPS visualization techniques. Experimenting with different GPS visualization techniques, such as using different types of maps or animations, can help you find the right tools for your post-production needs. Using GPS for safety and security. Using GPS for safety and security, such as by tracking the movement of your crew and equipment or monitoring potential hazards or security threats, can help you ensure the well-being of your team and protect your equipment and assets. GPS can help you track the location of your crew and equipment, monitor weather or natural hazards, and identify potential security threats. Here are some tips for using GPS for safety and security. Track crew and equipment. Using GPS to track the location of your crew and equipment, such as by using specialized GPS devices or software, can help you ensure their safety and prevent loss or theft. Monitor weather and natural hazards, using GPS to monitor weather and natural hazards, such as by tracking the movement of a storm or a wildfire, can help you keep your crew and equipment safe and avoid potential accidents or damage. Identify security threats, using GPS to identify potential security threats, such as by tracking the movement of unauthorized personnel or vehicles. Can help you protect your equipment and assets and ensure the safety of your crew. Considerations for GPS accuracy.